Mr. Drew Scott over at Lone Fox has done this much more elegantly, gracefully than and I will link that video for you, but he inspired me to revisit a room that I know doesn't really work for Holly, and now that I live here, I can make her hand me a list and go, hey, tell me to fix it. So we're gonna revisit this office makeover that I did for her a couple months ago and just add a couple of things to tweak it to make it actually functional, since I live here and now see that it's not.
Hey boys. Hi boy. You're fine. Relax. You're okay. Why you always gotta do that? Freak me out, sir.
Two things for me right off the bat are file storage. Like, there's a lot of paper everywhere in this gallery wall. Actually, this one picture when Vinny comes in, because he's a Great Dane Pit Bull mix, he's 160 pounds, and he turns, he'll knock that thing off. So those are things I've noticed.
Oh. It's like, Mom, open the damn door.
You can have a birthday? You can have a birthday to Callie?
Oh, Piglet, it is not there, homegirl, and you just had your birthday breakfast. Oh, I can't wait to build that.
Holly loves being able to see the dogs when we're walking through the hallway, and she had this really rad idea for this wood accent feature type of situation that she sketched out for me with her infamous sketches you guys have been seeing. She also let me know a couple other things on that sketch that have been bothering her, like shelving for books and just maybe more shelving on this sliding wall and then shelving on the wood accent piece. There's a lot of things that I missed last go that we're definitely not going to be lacking today. You know the deal by now, my friends. We got to clean up and clean out whatever we are intending to make over. But before we jump into all the fun additions we are doing here and the switch outs, swap ups, change ups, I do have to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. And my blog is going to be launching this Friday, so be on the lookout for that. First things first, let me tell you a little bit more about Squarespace and why I love them. Since I'm going to be using this as a blog right now, I have noticed that they have powerful blogging tools that can tell your story, share updates, and post photos and videos. They can categorize, share, and schedule your posts to make your content work for you, which is what your girl needs. You can also stand out in any box with Squarespace email campaigns. With their all-in-one platform, it makes it easy to unify your brand voice from your homepage to your emails, which is something you need to stay consistent with when you're branding yourself via a website. I have always been intimidated to dive into creating my own website, but honestly, Squarespace makes it so easy. They walk you through the entire process if you're feeling overwhelmed. If you guys are interested in creating your own website, you can head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/Mets to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. I'm taking the trim off the doors so that when I install the wood accent wall, that is going to be flush to the actual wall itself. I also decided to start to pop off that calendar because per Holly's drawing, she needs more whiteboard space, and it just makes sense to have that there because she's never used this weekly planner that I've DIY'd up there. I highly recommend never using construction adhesive again. I don't know why that's my go-to, but never, absolutely not ever again will I do that. And also, popcorn is life. You'll see me snacking on popcorn lately. It's like my latest favorite thing. I found this filing wall hanger at HomeGoods, and I really thought this was a clever solution to get the papers off of her desk and into somewhere that's organized and a little bit more chic than being spread all over her tabletop. This whiteboard is from Joann's. I forget the size. I believe it's 2 feet by maybe 3 feet or 4 feet. I decided to clear the shelf out even though I wasn't really intending to restyle, but sometimes I do this because when you add other things to the room, you're going to take it in a different direction with the details. To support the vertical slats I'll be putting on this wall where the door opening is, I just pocket hold some 1x2s throughout the door frame. And then on the left hand side of that wall where there will be horizontal slats, I did 2 vertical slats to kind of clean up the edge you may see on the outside. I used my brad nailer to secure the 1x2s in place, and to evenly space them, I just took that 1x2, turned it on its side to be the 1 portion, the 1-inch portion, and used that as a spacer throughout the entire thing. At first, I was a little bit nervous how the spacing was looking. I thought it might look a little bit too cluttered over here, but we will be adding some shelving, which I think will kind of smooth out this corner, as weird as it sounds. I'm really in love with this corner. I was just getting a little nervous that Holly would not be as in love with it as she thought she would be. Any outlets or switches that you may come across during this time, just cut the pieces down to leave that switch completely open so you have full access to it, and that you can take off the outlet, replace the cover. So just be sure to compensate when you're cutting down those pieces. I'm deciding not to frame them out because I kind of like this break look in between. It doesn't bother me. As far as the vertical wall, I'm going to be adding some shelving by just cutting triangles out of some scrap wood that I have, adding some pocket holes and attaching those to the actual slats, and then adding some glue on top and the depth of shelf of your choice for the space. To finish up this little nook, I added her monthly calendar as well as some hooks for the dogs because this is the dog den / her office. As far as the sliding door wall, we had nothing on there previously, and Holly sketched out a couple of shelving options. I tweaked it a little bit, just centering the top shelf, not making it wall to wall, and doing one shelf on either side on the bottom, securing it through the studs or with drywall anchors with L brackets, so they look like they're floating. You guys called me out heavily on this geometric wall, and you were very right. I did not finish it. I did not have the time. I didn't live here, and really all it took to finish it was 2 pieces. I didn't have to go super crazy. So I added 2 more 1x2s vertically on the left-hand side to fill that empty space, but not overwhelm it because we're going to be switching out the gallery wall, making it a little bit more streamlined, and just hanging some artwork to kind of go across the middle. Since Vinny hits it when he sits on the bed, I wanted to raise it up, but still utilize that whole wall. This corkboard is absolutely the bane of my existence. I need to scrape it off, but again, I just don't have the time right now. So what I did was just use some screws and extra corkboard, screwing it over the patches you can see that the whiteboard does not cover. As far as the rest of the room, all I did, oh, hello, my beautiful girl. Did you want to come cuddle me while I do a voiceover? Hello. Sorry, Callie is just the absolute cutest lately. Anyways, I added a couple of styling touches and made sure that the majority of everything she put on the list was included. The only thing we're missing are the dog bowls. We just need to order those, and those are taking about a week to get here. Anywho, I am very excited with how a simple refresh can really make all the difference in a room. You don't have to necessarily tear down the walls, take off the paint, add an accent wall. You can work with what you have, and also makes it functional for you, but keeping your vibe and your aesthetic I think is key as well. But first and foremost, you need to live in the space. Even though it feels like we haven't been tackling a lot of Holly's house, there really isn't that much left. And once I do tackle every single room, I will give you a full, beautiful house tour. But for our next stop in flipping her house, we are going to be continuing into her dining room and then her front yard. We're kind of all over the place again, tackling things in phases. I know not a lot of people are a fan of the raw wood, but Holly is a huge fan of natural wood tones throughout her house if you've watched any other makeover. But even if you do see the raw wood, you can stain it and you can paint it. You just need to make sure to seal it. And why there is a big empty space on the bottom right hand side of this vertical wall is for Vinny. You saw how tall he is, you saw how big he is. He needs room to kind of walk up and look out if he wants to. I just want to make sure he didn't knock over any shelves doing so. Today's episode is on the shorter side of things. That's going to be happening throughout this month because I will be tackling in-depth projects that are going to take a lengthy amount of time, and then I will be tackling things that take less than a day. Bear with me, but per usual, I love you guys. I will see you soon for another DIY.